Hi everyone, welcome back. In this video today, I wanted to share some of my biggest lessons within sales, personally and professionally from 2024. Obviously, we're coming to the end of the year now. I'm sure a lot of us are reflecting on our goals, what we set at the beginning of the year, obviously what we've achieved, and then what we're setting to enter 2025. So let's get into it. Obviously, hi, if you're new here, my name is Shelley. I am in the high ticket sales space. For the past just over a year now, I have been working as a closer and I've taken my income from 0 to 27k per month as a complete beginner. So, this channel really is just to share how I've done it, advice, guidance, and really my experiences of the industry to help anyone looking to get into sales or help them, currently within their career now. So, yeah, let's get into it. Lesson number one is I stopped trying to control the narrative. I stopped trying to control the outcome. And this was a big one for me. I've always been, growing up, I've always been someone who likes to have that element of control. I guess it helps you feel more stable. You kind of can predict what's going to happen. But in sales, it's not like that. If someone does not want to buy from you, they will not buy from you. No matter your sales training, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, if they don't want the product, if they don't want to spend the money, they will not do it. Releasing that element of control has been huge. Sales is all about input and you can't focus on outputs. You can't focus on your lead flow. You can't focus on your lead quality. You can't focus on whether you close the deals or not. You can't focus on any of these things because you can't control any of these things. What you can focus on is upskilling yourself, the reps you do, the hours you do, and all the elements to actually get you the result. And for me, ever since I released that control and really just became quite unbothered. And I don't mean unbothered in the sense that I stopped caring, I stopped putting effort in, I stopped doing what I needed to do. Absolutely not. What I mean by that is I stopped worrying about the outcome. It didn't bother me. We've all been there when we've really wanted a situation to go our way and it would keep us up at night and we would get anxiety or butterflies, whatever it is. But for me, now when I experience that, I see that as quite negative because that means I'm putting so much weight or pressure on the outcome itself. And what's meant for you will be yours, You can't control the uncontrollable. If it's meant for you, if it's your opportunity, if it's for you personally, professionally, it will be yours. So if you can try and work on that, take that on board. I know that massively helped me, but it is not easy. I'm not saying it's easy, especially if you've always had that element of you wanted that control. To unlearn those bad habits is pretty tough. But it has been night and day for me since I've been really practicing that very intentionally. Just to be honest, just makes me like a much happier person because I don't worry, I'm less bothered. I just focus on what I can do daily to improve. Lesson two is I stopped shying away from uncomfortable conversations and situations. I will make sure I'm in the rooms of people who are better than me, who have more experience than me, who can add value, who I can learn from, who I can observe to become better. If you're on an offer, for example, that's not serving you anymore, if you feel like you've hit your full potential in that offer and you now want to hit new income goals or new professional goals, then it's time to move on. And I've told this story before, but that was me a few months back. I was in an offer which I feel I'd hit my ceiling, and I actually stayed in it longer than I should have, probably because I was comfortable and I was scared to move on and I liked being in that comfort. But nothing that's comforting, especially professionally, is going to serve you in the long run. If you're someone who wants to develop and achieve and has big ambitions, then you've got to make sure you're always moving forward, you're always challenging yourselves, and you're always in situations that make you feel a little bit uneasy. Lesson three is I stopped waiting and I started asking. You have to ask for what you want. No one is going to provide it to you. No one is going to hand it to you on a silver platter. You have to make it known. And I have literally done this for every single opportunity I have received in the sales space. Like literally everyone. When I was reflecting on this, when I was like writing down my points, I really thought about this. And in my whole career in sales, I've only had one rejection. And that was when I was in my first offer and the sales manager position came up and there was closers on the team, including myself. And honestly, none of us were in a position to be a sales manager. None of us had that level of experience or that level of leadership where we could confidently lead a team to help scale a company, right? But at the same time, the position was up for grabs. So I applied and I went for it. Did I get the job? Absolutely not. There was no way in hindsight that I was ready for an opportunity like that. Did I die because I got rejected? No. It's character building. It made me really reflect and think, okay, what can I do in order to be eligible for a position like that in the future? So don't be afraid to ask. Everything else I've ever asked for, I've received, and then I have proven myself, and they go hand in hand. If you're going to ask, you have to back it up with evidence, data, work ethic. But rejection isn't bad. If anything, it is going to open so many more doors for you in the future. Lesson 4, if you think you're talking slow, go slower. And this has been absolutely game-changing for me in my sales career, because I am the type of person who found myself when I'm in an uncomfortable position or, in a challenging position, I can speak quite fast. I don't know why. Word vomit, get out what I have to say, fill the void, bridge the gap, whatever it is. But it's not good. And the most self-assured and confident people I've ever met within sales own who they are. They own their frame. They are laid back. They talk slow. They are unbothered. And that really holds a certain frame on a sales call, which makes you appear as the leader. It makes you appear knowledgeable, because you will notice that prospects word vomit at you. So if you can be the person who stays calm, who receives that energy, it will automatically put you higher status. And I'll give you an example. I literally had a sales call yesterday, and the guy came onto the call a bit guarded, dropping already like the scam objection and just being a bit off. And I noticed myself a little bit speaking quite quickly, pushing that energy onto him to try and relieve sales resistance. I caught myself pretty much immediately doing that, which is totally the wrong thing to do in that instance. I sat back, I lowered my voice. I find that really helps calm people. I started to speak much slower, and we completely turned things around. And obviously we closed the deal by the end, and he was so much more relaxed, so much more trusting, because I sat back and found myself automatically slotting into that leader position, which is calm, which is in control. So if you notice yourself doing that too, if that's also like a bad habit of yours, I would 100% be mindful of that, because it really has helped me close so many more deals. Number 5, you can have it all, but you can't have it all at once, especially in the building phase. Now, I genuinely do believe that there is a time and a place in life where you can have it all. You can literally build your dream life and love every day of it. However, it takes time to build that. It takes years of sacrifice, work, hardships, etc. to get you to that point. And if we're really talking about like that initial building phase of your career, so like for me, 2024 has been that building phase, I'll be completely upfront and say I have been very selfish. I have sacrificed a lot. And I think it's super important, if you are coming on this journey as well, or if you've started this journey, you have to be so honest with yourself with what you are prepared to sacrifice to get you to where you want to be. The quicker you can discover what that is, the quicker you know that, and you know that within yourself, is going to be that light bulb moment for you. I lost friends. I missed family events. I didn't show up to be, not the most social person. I missed things within life that admittedly, perhaps I shouldn't have missed. But do I feel bad? No, I don't. Because now I can show up as so much better of a person. And yeah, I would have lost friends in the process. And yeah, I would have lost some memories. And I'm not telling you to miss out on like a big events. Like if you've got a sister's wedding, don't miss the wedding, obviously. But if it's just like small events, small parties, things like that, that's okay. You're allowed to be selfish. You're allowed to prioritize your goals and your career. Because now, for myself personally, I can give back to my family and to my friends so much better with my time, with my energy, with financial, more than I ever could, because I chose to be selfish. And do you think that they cared that I missed the birthday party or didn't speak to my friends as much as I should have, perhaps? Absolutely not. They couldn't care less. And I think you have to be super honest with yourself and think about that, right? Because people may not be happy with you, or you may have family who nag you, or you may lose friends in the process, right? But that's okay, because if you're so focused on who you want to be, if you're so focused on the path that you're on and who you want to become, then you just got to get comfortable with knowing that it is lonely and you've got to be selfish. But once you come out the other side, and I'm still not out fully the other side, like I've still got a lot of work to do, but for the most part, once you're out the other side, you can be so much better of a person and give back to people like more than you ever could have imagined. Number 6, lesson 6, is stop rushing. Like, comparison is the biggest thief of joy. Just because one person's journey took so long, X amount of time, doesn't mean yours is going to. Be grateful, wake up and smell the roses, enjoy life, enjoy the process, stop trying to get from A to B to C as quick as possible. I used to do this so often. I used to achieve a goal and think, what's next, what's next, what's next? And it's just not a good place to be. Like, if you can be grateful, if you can practice gratitude, if you can really stop and be proud of yourself and really allow yourself to enjoy the smaller things in life, enjoy the work that you're doing, enjoy the life that you're building, enjoy the experiences that you're having, instead of be so focused on thinking, what's next, what's next? You're just going to be so much happier. Like, I'm so much more happier because I actually allow myself time to be grateful and to enjoy those experiences. And life is just far too short to be always thinking about what's next, to be comparing yourself to others. And I know it can sound so easy being in this position now. Like, if you're someone who's completely starting out and you've got no job, no money, you live at home and you want a whole different life, and obviously I'm here saying, oh, just be grateful. I get it. But what I'm saying is, if you constantly are focusing on what's next, what's next, what's next, life is just going to pass you by. And yeah, that's okay at some times, some phases of life, but you don't want to be 20 years down the line and you don't even remember the journey. You don't remember the highs and the lows because you just allowed them to pass you by. You want to take it all in and really be grateful. So I'd highly recommend it. It's not easy. I had to out-train a lot of bad habits, but it's made me such a happier person for doing that. Lesson 7, the more money and resources that you spend, the more you're going to attract. Now, I understand this can be a controversial take, and I often hear people say this once they have done the thing, when they have a proven concept, which is clear because they've done it and then they like stand by it, like myself. And I understand that at the beginning, when you don't have a lot of resources, when you don't have a lot of money, it's hard to part with that. Especially if you grew up in the UK, anyone from the UK watching this will understand that a lot of people from the UK are bred to be like a scarcity mindset. You must save all your money, you can't treat yourself. It's actually, being successful is like frowned upon. If being out of the norm is frowned upon, having wealth is frowned upon, which is bizarre. So I understand, like, it's not easy However, you have to understand that money is an energy exchange, and that the more you pour into yourself, the more that you pour into your own cup with finances, resources, health, wellness, relationships, appearance. You're pouring into your cup. You're building your confidence, you're building your self-worth, you're building the person that you want to be, which means you are going to view yourself at such a higher regard, which means other people are going to view you at that regard also, which means more opportunities are going to come your way. And it all starts with you. If you're pouring into everyone else's cup, if you're giving your resources away to everyone else and not taking care of yourself, then you are going to deplete, basically. You're not going to be the best version of yourself. You can't save everyone else but not save yourself. So what I mean by this is, if you're online looking at free resources on YouTube, free courses online, instead of paying for the education, let's say paying for the sales training, you're depriving yourself of the resources and the education needed to become the better version of you. You can't expect to be that higher person, to be of high value, if you are not treating yourself in that regard, if you're not respecting yourself enough to invest in your education, or if you're not showing up for yourself with your appearance, if you're not moving your body or drinking water, whatever it is, right? If you are not pouring into your own cup, you are going to really suffer from that. And going back to the money being an energy exchange, if you constantly live in the scarcity mindset of I can't afford it, you will always stay broke, essentially. Like, next time you're out for a walk and you really want to buy a coffee, but you think, I can't afford a coffee. Why can't you? Just buy the coffee. I'm not saying like go and buy the designer bags. Like, I'm not saying go crazy. What I'm saying is buy the coffee. If you know that coffee is going to set you up, it's going to make you feel happy, which means you're going to feel more energized, which means you're going to come home and do your work more energized. It means you're going to put more effort. It means you're going to take more pride in who you are, yourself. Then that coffee, that £3, was very much worth it. And I say that because I do that pretty much every day. But I never used to. I used to deprive myself of these things. I used to be like, no, I can't afford it. I can't do that. I shouldn't be doing that. I don't have the money. No, it's so silly. Now, when I really had that energy shift, and that was before I'm earning the money I am, right? I know it's easier said when I'm earning a certain type of income, but I'm talking about at the beginning. As soon as I had that mindset shift of, I need to act as if, I need to be the person that I want to be. And I started acting out of abundance, financially, physically, mentally. Those things started coming to me tenfold. The money I invested in sales training, it literally came back to me tenfold. The money I would spend on coffees comes back to me tenfold. Whatever it is for you, I think it's so important to remember that money is an energy exchange, and you need to have an abundant mindset if you want the life that is of your dreams. Because if you're so closed off and negative about it, that life's not going to come to you, because you're not going to be the person deserving of that life. So it takes a lot of work. I'm not saying it's easy, but if you can start reflecting on who you want to be, acting as if you are that person, and viewing money as an energy exchange, then you will be able to build the life of your dreams and become the person you want to become so much faster, essentially. Lesson number 8, which is a bit of a tough lesson, but it's true. And that is that you are alone, and that is okay. You have to understand, especially when you're embarking on a career, let's say such as sales, whether you're at the beginning or whether you're in the motions now, no one is going to understand what it feels like. No one is going to experience the highs of closing the deal, the lows of missing the sale, the highs of, having your first commission check, or the lows of all the no-shows and the follow-ups and the dials and the rejection and the tears and locking yourself in your house for hours in your room, taking sales calls, doing the sales training, doing the follow-ups. No one is ever going to understand that. And that is okay. They don't need to understand that. The moment that you can be at peace with you are alone on this journey, it means you are going to start respecting yourself more, celebrating yourself more, and you're just going to be a lot happier. And that doesn't mean people can't be happy for you. There are going to be wins that people will understand. But overall, the journey is yours and yours alone. You must walk this path alone. And every now and then you may come across people in your life who have done that same journey. And if you do, that's amazing. That is rare though. So you can't expect for you to have all these friends or all these people who know the path that you're on, because it's a unique path. So the moment I came to terms with that I'm very much alone. Now, I'm someone who quite likes to be alone, so it wasn't that tricky for me, to be honest, but I know of others who find that quite challenging. It is okay, but obviously it is a personal journey that you have to go through, you have to reflect on and understand that it's not a bad thing that you're alone. It's not forever, it's not a forever thing, it's just for a season of life to enable you to build a better you, right? To build a better life. Lesson 9 is sales will not last forever. You need to be selfish and do not treat sales like it's a forever thing. It's super easy to go through the motions. You're making your commission checks, you're living your best life, and you think, oh my God, I want to do this forever. But the harsh reality of it is it's not. And you must make sure you are set up throughout the highs and throughout the lows. And what I mean by this is, myself included, but I've spoken to a few people who don't realize that they have to put themselves first and prioritize themselves. You know, if you're on a really great offer and the offer owner is amazing and you think you have loyalty to that offer owner, you don't. And you have to remember the harsh reality of it is, if you were on your hospital bed dying, would they pay your medical bill? The answer is no. Would they hire a closer to replace you while you're in hospital? Yes. And that is just the harsh truth of it. It's not personal, it's just business. It's really just not personal. Business is business. Offer owners have to ensure that their business is running smoothly and protect their livelihood, and you have to make sure your business is running smoothly and protect your livelihood, and that's all it is. And it is important not to get attached to that. So, for example, my last offer was a great offer and I really liked the offer owners, but I knew I wasn't earning my dream income, so I needed to move on. And they were sad to see me go, but they also respected that I wanted more and that I wanted to take on a new challenge, and we had left on good terms. And that's how it should be. If you're scared to leave a company because of how you're going to be treated or what the offer owner is going to say, then it's not worth your time anyway. You know, these people aren't nice people if they're not happy for you, if they can't value the work that you've done, but also respect it's your time to move on. So be very careful not to get caught up in that like relationship. You feel like you start having so much loyalty to the people, to the offer owner, but remember, you are self-employed, you are your own business, you have to protect your livelihood. Last but not least, lesson 10. I've kind of already covered this a little bit earlier, but the final lesson is stop being so hard on yourself. Wake up and smell the roses. Enjoy this journey. It is going to be a roller coaster. It still is a roller coaster for me, honestly. I have the highs, I have the lows. It's a lot. It's intense. Commission only sales is intense. It's hard work. But remember how grateful you are. Remember, you know, if this was you 5 years ago looking at your life now, how proud would you be? You know, Shelley 5 years ago would not believe this life, would have just never even fathomed it. And I think if you can practice that level of gratitude and yeah, appreciation for you, for your work ethic, for what you've built, for the life that you're leading, enjoy the small things, be grateful. It makes things so much fun. Like, it allows you to be such a better person, more relaxed, less bothered, more chill, because you're enjoying the journey, you're enjoying the highs, you can laugh at the lows because you know the path that you're on and you're so certain that you're going to get there. So that would be my last piece of advice. Just try and enjoy it. Don't take things so seriously. It's really, life's not that serious. And the more you can enjoy life, the more you can enjoy, you know, this, you know, phase of life you're in, you know, embarking on sales, is the better it's going to be, because sales is tough. So if you're tough on yourself too, it's not going to be very sustainable. So I hope I've instilled a little bit of wisdom. My lessons that I've learned over 2024, really I've changed completely as a person. Like, I've done a bit of a 180, which I'm so proud of myself. I've grown a lot as a person, and I'm sure if there's anyone watching this who's also been in sales, you know, for 6 months, a year, feels the same way. And if you're new and you're looking to embark on this journey, just go for it, because it's way more than the money. It's a whole transformation, in my opinion. How you communicate, how you feel about yourself, your confidence, your lifestyle, everything. So it's 100% worth it. As always, if you need any support from me, have any questions at all, feel free to reach out on Instagram. Remember, the new year is around the corner. Do you want to put your life on hold? Do you want to keep doing the same cycle? If you don't, make a change. Take a bet on yourself and see what happens. Bye, guys.